Welcome to episode 38 of Factorio Space Age Deathworld Marathon. Last episode was it was a little bit Deathworld. This one is going to be mostly Marathon, I think. We're standing next to a bunch of electromagnet plants with quality modules and a speed beacon in the middle, which is kind of odd. We're going to be doing this a bunch. Let's do a little tour of not just this space, but all the planets, so we can see where we are and how we got to be in the position that we are and what we're going to do next. We have recently got to Aquilo. Aquilo we went to last, of course. By the time we got to Aquilo, we had all of this just rare stuff to play with. Rare rocket solos, probably not worth it, did it anyway. All of these cryoplants are rare. We've got vastly more science than we need, which is pretty funny. We've got cryoplants with quality modules for ice next to a speed beacon. I might end up calling this trick the ice block trick. I like it quite a lot. And then in terms of science, we've got that's chest, please. Yeah, we've got a lot of science floating around at quality. We're making the cryoscience at about 3 to 4 times the rate as any other science in our base, except maybe space. So we could be going and doing railgun and fusion power things now, but I think we might just be doing base growth stuff instead. And the idea of this is, we want to maximize the amount of stuff we get out at quality, and we don't really care about the inputs. This belt here is supposed to be frozen. All it does is force a side load. That's one of the tricks I like in Aquilo. And so if we get rid of this beacon, we can see the speed goes down and the quality goes up. In fact, let's get rid of both the beacons. Speed goes down, quality goes up, but we get fewer of the quality ice cubes we care about, and so we're pretty happy putting these 2 beacons in, losing a little bit of quality, and the speed we get in return, because we have enough module slots and high enough quality modules, we're just getting a whole lot more quality stuff out. So that's the plan of why we're going to do this quality with a speed beacon thing. We don't want necessarily a lot of speed beacons. Gleba we went to first, and as in first, straight off novice, it's all pretty stable. We gave it a second silo. We're going to need to go back there and do some defense. We're backing up the bioflux. Oh well. Doing things pretty good. We built this, directly after leaving novice the first time, and so we did this without any purple or yellow science, and we've kind of added some new power grid and moduled some things and upgraded some biochambers and given them some better modules and stuff like that. But we haven't really given this much of an overhaul. I guess this section with the wagon smelting was kinda new. We went to Fulgora next, which is still doing pretty happy as it turns out. I don't think we had much purple science at this point, so we've got, I think, a couple of beacons in the science, or we did and then took them out because we didn't need them. There's a bit more bot request stuff. This all used to be red belt, but we did this before we had any productivity research for the recyclers, and now we've got 50% productivity research in the cyclers. Same plan on blue belt. I reckon at some point we can upgrade these to rare recyclers and get 4 full belts of stuff. We recently upgraded all of this to blue belt, so that was pretty exciting. Fulgora just more effective now. Full on science. Nice little spiral of doom to get rid of everything we don't care about. After that, we went to Vulcanus. Let's have a look at Novice. Turns out, when we have enough agri-science, the thing we're actually blocked on for most of these researchers is red and green and blue science, because we still have the very first red and green pattern, which we just upgraded some assemblers and beaconed and moduled harder, not even particularly hard, and then the blue science over here is the same. This is very normal for me, engines into blue science pattern. We've just upgraded some assemblers and modules. And we have been kind of obsessed with quality this whole run, and that's kind of how we got all the rare stuff on Aquilo. And Vulcanus we came to last. Other than Aquilo, Vulcanus we came to out of the last out of the 3 sort of next planets, and we built this thing, which we've still not been fully running, which kind of attempts to do a quality mixed build thing with other modules in the middle, lots of annoying ratios, lots of things that kind of didn't work. Was kind of okay, yeah, recyclers, other upgrades. This was already starting to get a bit filled up, and we would like to do all of this better and in a way that scales a bit better, and also with a couple more beacons. We would like to be able to get more stuff out of each of these electromagnet plants, because we want to upgrade these to rare as well. So we're going to do, that's basically what we're thinking with this new pattern. We're going to do, in fact, I've got a blueprint here, which is all the same thing, but without any of the requests or the recipes. And so, yeah, if we're looking at this thing, 3.2 speed into 13% quality. If we get rid of the beacon, we are down to 1.5 speed, which is not as good. I don't like that as much. I would rather give up a little bit of quality in exchange for more speed. And then I think this beacon we can upgrade later as well, because the speed we get out of the module improves with quality. The quality hit doesn't. So yeah, we've got a bunch of power grid on us because we want to go expand all of the power grid here as well. So that's how we're going to handle every kind of upgrade for quality in this space now. And we're going to use Vulcanus to do a lot of it. Because yeah, we could be doing, I guess, tech-wise, we want to get epic quality in there somewhere. I guess we go directly into legendary quality as well, because we've already got all of the sciences we need for that. So I mean, we could be going into the quantum processors and the railguns and all that kind of stuff. I guess I'm gonna claim that we're doing that as well, because we're not going to bother building this at any quality less than rare. And we also need a nice supply of rare blue chips to do all the kind of module upgrades that we want. So yeah, so we want basically, first of all, more stuff than this, and then also some of these foundries are not upgraded. Oh yeah, because we're getting rid of this pattern. This green chips pattern we are replacing. This isn't even a full blue belt of green chips. These foundries already rare. I think we're going to have a stone problem. I think we might need to upgrade these to stack inserters. But I think the thing I want to look at is, yeah, just briefly go, what, 1, 2, 3, 5... 5.5 belts of green chips. Red belts. Even though this one says blue belts. Maybe we're... Oh yeah, because there's green chips, there's blue chips at the end of this, isn't there? Yeah. And then, like, the other piece of scale to bear in mind is, like, 1 red belt of plastic, 1 blue belt of plastic. I think we can do better than that now as well, because we also have plastic productivity bonus in the research. Like, what is this? Also, these two by themselves would already be making... Oh, and it's also different because we're hitting them with different sizes of beacons. Cool. It would be like 2 of these are capable of filling a red belt. So we could have... How many of these do we have here? 9. Yeah, we could have 4 red belts of plastic. We would need to upgrade all of this belt through here to the train and to the mining patch to blue belt, because I'm pretty sure this train doesn't have... Yeah, this is now the only coal station we've got. We can upgrade that to blue belt just fine. If we had all the stuff, we could almost certainly get enough mining patches. Yeah, I'm happy we can make that blue belt, except for the fact that we are not actually automating blue belt on Vulcanus at all yet. So, wait, why are you... Should you not be running? Should you not be running? You don't have the... Why do I have this carbon? But why are you without carbon? We have the carbon, we upgraded these things, we have a full belt, a full chest of rare carbon. I don't know there's necessarily anything I wanted to do with because we already had things we were doing with the rare carbon. I think we just... yeah, just take all of this, because we're already going to get a quarter of it back. And yeah, whatever. We're getting more of it. We kind of wanted... did we actually care about whether the science runs? No, because the science is still backed up on this belt. Okay, fine. So we do have... yeah, we're still making red belt in assemblers because we haven't even figured out that we could use foundries for blue belt yet. So what do we do with... over here is somewhere that has... here's somewhere that has lubricant. Maybe we can just... because I figure that... oh yeah, we're now standardizing on rare foundries. I figure that when we're trying to build blue belt, we still need gears, we still need the lubricant, we still need the red chips. Okay, then I think we do that with Logibots. And yeah, the other reasons why I'm thinking about turning Vulcanus into this giant hub of chips and modules and other stuff is that if we put it all in the same network, it's going to be relatively easy to upgrade... yeah, to upgrade into... yeah, to upgrade various modules with an upgrade planner rather than... like, one of the other things I was considering is building something over here using, say, this coal and, I don't know, this calcite and bringing all of that in. But the thing is, over here, we would have bots flying a long way if we wanted to connect it to the main mall, which I'm not sure I'm happy about, whereas... actually, over here, because we've got the cliff explosives now, we've got the sulfuric acid here. Is there... we could put another coal train station over here. We could build... like, I don't think down here is necessarily too far away from the main mall to worry about upgrading things. I think that's a thing we can think about later. Yeah, we wanted blue undergrounds and blue splitters. And then we also are realizing that we need a source of gears here as well. So, can you move just a little bit? Is that gonna... yes, it's gonna work, isn't it? Move this to here, have this make gears. Have it... I mean, I've got one of these. I don't have all that many modules on me apparently, but never mind. I also don't know if we're making stack inserters here. That might be a thing that we want to consider changing as well. And then I have some number of these chests. Is that... that's not the right place, is it? And we're just going to bring in everything else we need. You are still not in the right place because we would like gears through here. Is this going to do everything we need? I think it might. I think we now just request, yeah, but not those gears. In fact, yeah, let's just have 100 belt. Thanks. So we're getting some productivity out of this. We're getting mostly speed out of this. We need to figure out where there's some molten iron, and didn't we have... isn't this molten iron? Probably. Can we get... yeah, my inventory is weird at the moment. I just don't have a whole lot of stuff. If we run this through here... we might need to do a little turn. And then sandwiched in between the rocket fuel, we can have... yeah, because you need the lubricant we already got. And then let's have a whole bunch of blue stuff. We're going to need a lot of blue stuff, aren't we? And then... yeah, undergrounds, and then... are you going to request too many gears again? You are, or you're also going to request vastly too many red chips. I also don't know if we have any red splitters. It doesn't look like we do. Okay, and then just red undergrounds. Okay, so at some point later we will be able to queue a red belt upgrade, and then this guy is just going to make 23 gears, not nearly as many as... Like, all these guys are going to be sad, they're not going to make as much stuff, but also we don't really care. We now have some source of most of this, except for the splitters, and I think that means... Do we also just lodge him all the splitters? Did we put gears in the network? Yes. In which case I think we just... somewhere, and I don't even necessarily care where... I think we need both kinds of splitters, don't we? But I don't think we bother... Okay, let's not get too near the rocket starters. We might want to extend that later. Where's my request box? Yeah. So we want to make yellow into... We could do this in foundries, but also kind of don't care. Yeah, you request a decent amount of stuff, but not the splitters. You also need belt and plate, and we've got a ton of both of those things sitting around. Why do we not have... Vulcanus, why are you telling me you don't have belt in the network? That's silly. Surely you have belt in the network. Oh no, because we're only ever doing direct insertion things. That is a good reason for Vulcanus to not have belt in the network. And then, yeah, Fulgora's upgrading some modules. Gleba didn't quite get all of the things it needs. All of that is fine. Give this some power, and we can have... I still don't have... I think there's another storage chest somewhere on... Yeah, there's definitely a storage chest somewhere on Vulcanus that I have lost track of. But now we should have automated supplies of all of these things. We are not doing the building of modules that I wanted to. I think we're also going to need that Fulgora is doing that Vulcanus is currently not, is this little long-handed and fast inserters upgrade. So I reckon we just grab this whole thing, and we've got some other stuff sticking out as well that we don't care about, and we just slap that in somewhere. These ones don't exist. And then I'm sure we have recyclers. We also need... Yeah, we do also need the assemblers. Because we've got... Yeah, we've got assembler 2s. I don't know if we have assembler 3 automation anywhere. So, let's do... I guess the same thing. Which we might also be doing for bulk inserters very soon. But this we don't want... This we want... Assembler 2s... Is this a... This is going directly into the trash. We actually don't want to go this way. We want to go... this way. Because I want to change this into assembler 3s. And then we want assembler 3 uncommon. And assembler 3 rare. All of which are going to be doing the things we need, except we need to get... Well, let's worry about the power later. These guys also won't matter. We can flip this to here. And this is, if anything, is less than uncommon quality. We can go... Are we going to go straight to rare? I think we might go straight to rare. So if we have less than rare, and then these are all... Yeah, we're going to have to do these with these inserters, aren't we? Yes, we still need the recycler. So if this is rare or better, we just put it in a different chest, which is fine. We are requesting... Did we not request speed modules? I thought we were requesting speed modules. Okay. So request these guys and speed modules. Build assembler 3s. Anything that's less than rare, we trash. Anything that is less than rare, we... Oh, this is use filters for... That was equal to uncommon, because you're trashing the uncommon stuff. And anything that's greater than rare goes over here. Similarly, anything this guy builds with rare materials. Okay, so I think this is... Yeah, you take all the assemblers that I don't want, and if we power this guy, then we will see a bunch of things not go quite right, because we still haven't set these, not those, these conditions. Oh, and also we should, yeah, start cannibalizing this thing, which is already showing signs of not really working super well. Start cannibalizing this for parts, because we're going to need them to build everything else we want. In fact, I think... Okay, no, we're going to get this stuff built first. And yeah, assembler 3s is what we wanted here. Assembler 3s less than 60. These are all the same setting. Why are you not... Quality less than or equal to rare. Because you're one of the upgraded... You were one of the upgraded inserters. Okay, so now we should have a way of not getting enough speed modules. Oh wait, you know what else we should have? We should have all of these quality modules in here so that we actually have a better chance of pulling out the stuff we want. Okay, so we can have some number of assembler 3s. At some point we can also get around to building all of these things. We're just going to do the rest of these with normal inserters, and then we should, other than the fact that we don't have the speed modules we want at the moment, and maybe also need Roboport coverage, that can go here. I'm pretty sure we have these. Vulcanus is complaining about not having long-handed inserters. Who needed a long-handed inserter? You did. And you did, and I've just found where one of these other inserters we missed was there. Yeah, now just complaining about not having the assemblers. We'll get those assemblers pretty normally, because all of this stuff is... Yeah, we're... Sure, fine, okay. So with all of that built, I think we want to move some other things around, because... Hexacube, you've got a lot of space, don't you? Oh, you're already moving a lot of stuff around, but yes, you do also have space. How much space does Becky have? Also a lot of stuff, also a lot of space. Okay. I want to move from Fulgora a variety of things. Actually, let's check from Fulgora. If we look for rare, how many things do we have? Oh, we've got a lot of superconductors. I wanted to bring over a couple of big shipments of these so we could start pumping out quality modules, and then also pull over a number of spaceship parts so we could start working on the spaceship parts as well. I reckon these quality modules we just leave on Fulgora. Oh, we've got everything we need to get some rare silos, which I like a lot, because Fulgora does also need rare silos, and I don't really have anything else to do with... Oh, and then we've got a lot of holmium as well. Okay, so what do we do first? Let's set up these... yeah, that's not what I wanted first. I wanted to go to Becky first to give... Okay, we already had Becky group. Let's call this... ship bits. I have more of these requests sitting around than I can remember what we're trying to do with them. Grab yourself all 20? Sure. Grab yourself all 20 of the Fulgoran rare parts that we can use to make platforms later. because it's kind of sketchy trying to launch them in Fulgora, because the asteroids are a little more intense. We need to get the ship online quickly, and also a lot of the platform constructions are on Nava. So we're just going to collect all of this stuff, stopped at Vulcanus at the moment, and then we're also going to get the rare superconductor we talked about, also from Fulgora. Also have just grab 2,000 of this, and we're just going to drop this manually on Vulcanus and the rest of these. Actually, did we also... Other things that the ships need include rare quality guns, and then rare quality rocket towers happen somewhere else. Rare quality solar. If we're going to do this ship bits thing, then we should also be asking for rare quality solar. If I was a rare quality solar panel, that's the place I would be, and these are going to come from Vulcanus. And are we going to do this with... This is also just something that needs regular inserters, but we do also need blue... Okay, yeah, so I'm realizing the other things we're going to need if we're making a lot of ship stuff are rare chem plants, which we can get from actually Vulcanus. How many stacks... So, 2 stacks of each of these guys. This is 10 stacks. Okay, so 10 stacks here, 1 stack of this stuff, 2 stacks of this stuff, a couple of stacks of solar panels. I think we are mostly fine with the amount of stuff we're trying to add. And then chem plants and foundries or electric engines. I don't think we're building more of this ship type, because this is the type of ship that looks kind of like a mushroom or a dude in a wingsuit that I'm referring to as the fun guy shape. I think we need more of these, which still actually normal quality crushers, normal quality chem plants. We can make better versions of these. Rare thrusters. I think if we move all of this stuff to rare, and we probably will, then we can have, yeah, a slightly better version of this ship, but it also means I don't need to move foundries around, which means that I think, Becky, this request here is everything we want to be collecting. And then the other thing I was going to do is Fulgora having, yeah, I don't know where these other silos are going to go. We could probably do these roboports differently and like this belt differently, and we've got... Can we? I think we can probably cliff explosives around the edge, but what we're going to do, somewhat cheekily, is you're going to say a rare quality silo. And I still think rare quality silos a bit of a scam. Probably just more basic quality silos are going to be the play that we would prefer. But if we do this... Do you ask for 1 silo's worth of stuff? You do. In that case, I think we want to get rid of this. I think we want to get 2 silos worth of stuff. We've got a lot of chips, we've got a lot of electric engines, we've got a lot of concrete. I think we can do 3 rare silos on Fulgora. And I don't think that's worth it, but it's what we're going to do. Which means that I want to copy this again. And then... Yeah, this is... Oh, yeah, we could have put this back on. We are going to do a thing whereby... Once all of these requests are set... do we actually have power there? We've put them in a place where it's not actually easy to get. Cool, good job. Yeah, so this has all of its requests, so we are going to not request anything. We don't want a continuous supply of this stuff. Oh, this one I didn't actually check that. Yeah, that's... And then they've all now got... enough of everything, yes? So we take off I mean, we could have just unticked this thing, actually, couldn't we? And we take off all the requests so we don't continuously do this, because all I want, and I don't actually know if we have bulk inserters here, all I want are these 3... Yeah, just give me the 3 rocket silos at rare quality, thanks. So we should make exactly 3, we shouldn't accidentally make too many, we shouldn't have extra stuff just taking up space in there. And then the other thing I noticed previously that we somewhat addressed is, yeah, we have a lot of uncommon holmium. More uncommon holmium than we can necessarily do anything with. So... yeah, this is greater than or equal to uncommon holmium quality. I think... And then this is uncommon holmium here? So I think if we go... Double inserter here. Use filters specifically for uncommon holmium. And then also connect you to the logistic network and enable if uncommon holmium is, yeah, that's so much, greater than, I don't know, 10,000? If we're gonna do it that way around, yes, because I was also thinking about, I think the other one we're gonna do over here for reasons, yeah. So now if we tap this into the uncommon holmium side of this belt, we're still grabbing, yeah, we're still grabbing off any better stuff, and then, yeah, we've got all of this holmium as well. So the point being, these two are still full. We're still going to fill 2 chests with this stuff, and then if we've got a surplus of holmium, we will grab the... Yeah, if we've got a surplus of holmium in the logistic network, we will grab uncommon holmium and push it back into the recycling loop and hope to get out more rare holmium. And I think the thing I was going to do over here, with the same settings, but in this case maybe slightly more, who knows, is also just request the uncommon holmium plate. So we're going to have a vastly more uncommon holmium plate than we want, and I would actually prefer to slow this guy down, probably, maybe. We're now moving a lot more through. I don't really want this to back up. Oh well, whatever. Yeah, we are now upgrading holmium. We have, hopefully if we go back to Vulcanus, we can see that 2 of these inserters didn't get power, but otherwise we are eventually building assembler 2s, we are eventually building rare inserters. You were requesting... Yeah, let's get this up to like 30. Let's get the requests of these kinds of inserters up a little more. These guys are doing... Oh wow, we made a lot of blue splitters. I don't really want that many blue splitters. This is all going super fine. Where are we making the... Oh, it's just down to the insertion capacities and assembler speeds and how many gears we're putting on a belt. Because we are running these same gears for... Okay. I think we still want a pile of red belt, don't we? We still want to be doing red belt stuff. I think all we do about that is we slap an upgrade planner here and fast. Yeah, we can just slap an upgrade planner down there and have a bit more of this. We're getting, and then maybe also we can get some more gears out by having a random concoction of modules that we don't really care about. This is going better, isn't it? This is definitely going better. And then also, The next thing that's going to be very specifically, like, I don't know if we want this on other planets or not, but a thing we definitely want here, he said, not doing the module upgrades that we definitely wanted to do, is, yeah, all of this as well, except you don't request. In fact, it's going to be, it's going to be closer to this pattern, isn't it? Because we're going to be requesting ingredients and then making 3 things. Okay, changing my mind. This pattern, little bit more things. Get rid of this request chest because we're going to do this again because you guys are just taking ages, aren't you? Oh, I've got them. Yeah, all of these inserters are vastly overpowered. Yeah, these assemblers are vastly overpowered for the jobs we're giving them, but also we don't care. We're just going to set some stuff up and then walk away from it and not come back later. Bulk inserters at regular capacity. Oh, actually, this has just reminded me, we have 79 construction bots, and maybe we don't have enough bot frames for this, so another thing we can just add to Becky's I would like the ship parts please is more drone frames, like maybe another 500 drone frames that Fulgora is also still making, also normal quality, and then we can make the chips here. We probably have space for this. Probably have space for that. It's probably fine. Okay. Yeah, bulk inserters. And then you're just going to request so much stuff if we actually... You know, whatever. We're going to do this anyway. And then we're going to reduce these numbers because it's easier than selecting the stuff. Yeah, 40 of these. 40 of these. And then we are going to do the same thing. We're going to shuffle these up, we're going to recycle. You're going to make me bulk inserters at uncommon quality. You're going to make me bulk inserters at rare quality. And then we are actually just looking in the logistics network for these. So that is a nice way of... Actually, yeah, we're going to need more than... We're going to need more inserters here. In fact, I think these limits should probably also change. Okay, doing a bunch of bot more stuff. 60, yeah, here's where the... Wait, were these? Those were still the long-handeds. And these are the long-handed requests we want to hit. Rare long-handeds, also rare long-handeds, fast inserters, less than 300. I think we should probably check in with Fulgora and see whether that stuff is also busted. Specifically... because I'm pretty sure I got that right in the Fulgoran example. I think that was just how we were copying and pasting things around later. We did not. We've been making not actually too many. Fast inserters, more fast inserters, more fast inserters. Because we might also just fly these to other places. Like we could just drop these on... How many of these recyclers do we have now? Yeah, we could also just be dropping these on Vulcanus to help build stuff. And then we should over here find that we have 3 rocket silos, of which I don't know where I'm putting those. Probably in here. That's the thing I'm going to worry about later. Because the thing we should really do is, yeah, actually do the builds we wanted to. So we've got this one blueprint that we're going to use for modules, because the other thing we will notice is we have just... this has... Oh yeah, remember when we said this was kind of on its last legs? This is what happens when things die, and then we've got yeah, a couple of inserters over here that will just start to clear off the belts, whatever. We'll get useful stuff out of it, it'll be fine. We also kind of wanted more red chips anyway, so I'm looking for one of these grabbing things which we can use to grab these red chips and these red chips and these red chips, because we want all of them. Okay, because I think the thing we're going to do, yeah, we're gonna blast all of this. We're going to have, I think the pattern I want to use for module construction, because we're kind of thinking about that as well, is something that has a lot of beacons around the outside. And maybe we could do this 4 to 3 pattern. Do I like this much? 8, 6, 8 is kind of annoying. Like we could do a very normal belts of stuff in, belts of stuff out, but I don't think we do that. And I don't think we... I think we try a different thing. I think if we get rid of these things... because these are also things that we will give efficiency and speed modules. Actually, we're probably giving it more speed than that. Probably more speed than efficiency. And then I think if we... Like, I'm wondering about whether we can do a thing where we have a beacon here, a beacon here, and then a belt of stuff and another belt of stuff. And use this as our tiling plan. In particular, if we can go underground... Not there, it would need to be here. Then we can go... I don't have... I might need to automate these boxes as well. I'm not there here. We could go one kind of chip in for these modules, another kind of chip in, and then just dump everything in the logistics network and let the bots handle everything else downstream. And I think I like this because this means that we can have... not that flip, this flip. Like, this is a nice pattern that is getting us... let's do that again. We still need to worry about power poles. This is getting us 7 beacons per electromag, which is looking pretty good. I like that quite a lot. We need to get some green chips in here. We need to get some red chips in here. We need to build those, and then we also need to do that at quality because... Yeah, and then... Okay, so we're putting some of these red chips in the network. Are we going to do... We are going to do... One of my perpetual things is, are we, if we have Gleben science, are we doing Gleben science? Because it often runs out. Maybe something like this, and then, yeah, but with better modules and stuff like that. Just make all of the tier 1 modules of every type like this. Yeah, and then just put them in the network, make a whole ton of them, and then use things like this blueprint to be upgrading them into their better qualities. But that also means we need red and green and blue chips. Actually, we don't need... If we're upgrading to Module 2s, we don't necessarily need a pattern like this. We need a pattern with more beacons. But actually, we can do that by just replacing... okay, we need a recipe first. We can just beacon this thing harder and without the quality modules and get a thing that can upgrade the modules, which is a thing that I like. Yeah, okay, base bots are doing a thing. And then, yeah, also red chips and blue chips, which I want to try and do with as much direct insertion as possible, because we're going to try and scale this hard. And it might take a bit of fiddling to figure out a way that I am happy about to get all the coils directly into the red chip makers like this, and then a whole lot of beacons maybe in here, maybe, yeah, and then looking at the ratios of these things to make all of those work. And then the other thing that I am going to have a look at, actually, did we get... Becky is on the way to Vulcanus. How close are you to Vulcanus? We want to drop a pile of this stuff. In fact, we want to... Did you get... You are not... Okay, you go to Fulgora and just hang there for a while until you get all the stuff. Maybe we should have actually figured out where that silo was going, because in particular I want the bot parts and the superconductors, because if we are tearing this thing down, we have a lot of elements to remove and only 79 bots to do it. So while we're waiting for that, we'll sketch what this is going to look like. Yeah, if we do... can we... a pile of recyclers, and then more red chips at quality, and then only taking off the things of high enough quality. I will think about this as well while we are waiting for Becky to get the stuff we need. An unnecessary concern. We do appear to have decent timers on all of this agricultural science. Some of it has gone off, but like whatever. And yeah, we are mostly limited by red and blue and green science, which I think is a good problem to have. Might be time to blast some things. Yeah, we'll start over here. It's already kind of jamming up. We've been cannibalizing bits of this to make sure other builds had enough stuff. Oh well. We've got a deletion planner which has a blacklist on all the power infrastructure and roboports and other chests that might have a whole lot of stuff in, because we don't want the bots to have to deal with those yet. And yeah, we're just gonna cut some large chunks out of this thing that we're not gonna need anymore. Bots are gonna be happy for a while, and by happy I mean have a lot to do. Yeah, when I dropped those frames down, I forgot that we already had this assembler that was busy making Logibots, so now we've got more Logibots than we wanted, but I think this is also more construction bots that we wanted, so we're gonna flick it back to Logibots. Sure, whatever. We're doing bot build things. It's going to be fine. I did actually want to help the bots with this a little, but not really. And oh yeah, let's have my bots off. I wanted some of these foundries for myself for reasons we'll get to, but then I also wanted those red and green chips that we picked up because I wanted to also get some steel. That's a blueprint we'll look at later. Yeah, because we want a whole bunch of active providers. In fact, we should probably just automate these because we're going to need more of these soon as well for other stuff. Well, I have regular bots. I probably don't need regular bots because the trick we're going to use for these chests to move everything out of these chests is probably we should have done the storage first, but we're just going to turn all of these chests into active providers. Actually, I could have done this with... If I'd done this with an upgrade planner, they would have gone into the regular bot queue and they would have taken ages. So let's also just make sure that the bots have enough storage, because we're moving a lot of things around now. And yeah, mini bots are sad. Maybe we should have put down more roboports. We are not going to. We're going to clip out all of this stuff, and then yeah, I think these boxes might stay for a while because we've got a lot of stuff in them, but also we're gonna try and leave some of that stuff. What's this doing? This is not doing anything. Okay, so all that is running. We can grab all of these as well. Also, oh yeah, fun thing about this. Let's grab all these rocks and then talk about the other reason why we're grabbing the rocks. All of this stuff can go? Are we worried about giving bots too many jobs? Maybe. Weren't there other... chests in here that also wanted to really be provider chests. Yes. Okay, so one of the things you've got to bear in mind when you're kicking off a giant upgrade like this is whether or not, if you're trying to build larger, do you have all the stuff to do the next build, and are you going to get yourself into a position where you can't actually finish the next build because you don't have the stuff? In this case, we're probably fine because, yeah, all these chests with a whole lot of things in them. In this case, we're probably fine because we're making a lot of the next build with the same stuff. But also, the reason why I grabbed the basic foundries is the rest of the base is actually trying to upgrade a lot of the inserters we are pulling up and turn them into their rare versions. Wait, I'm making green chips? Okay, whatever, make green chips. We're going to be here a while, aren't we? But also, yeah, so we are trying to upgrade things not here in the other bit of the lodge mall, isn't it? It's over here. Yeah, we are, when we're getting these foundries back, we're trying to upgrade them into the rare versions, and the same thing with these inserters. I'm not really concerned about that, because we could just upgrade the new blueprints to the rare inserters anyway, and we could also have Hexacube, who is doing the Novice bit and then coming to Vulcanus and just dump in a bunch more of these upgraded inserters anyway, and actually more roboports. Have we automated roboports here? I don't know if we've actually automated roboports on Vulcanus, which is wild. I think we should start getting into rare roboports. But the other thing that was fun is, yeah, we haven't actually used the Vulcanus concrete from molten iron foundry recipe at all yet. Why do we? Oh, because I cancelled all those green chips. Okay. Yeah, all of the concrete we have made, all of the reinforced concrete we have made, the silo concrete, oh, I was going to automate silos as well, wasn't I? Because we've got currently 3 silos and would like more. All of the foundries we have made, all of the foundries we have been upgrading have been not just from concrete from assemblers, but concrete from assemblers from iron ore from rocks we have picked up around the map, which I think is pretty funny. I like that a lot. So we now have Roboport automation. Do we have Roboport automation? Oh, we do. We just don't have any Logibots free because they're all moving the stuff around. And we've also automated these 3 chests. I think the active providers, I don't use a lot of these. Mostly it's going to be requests and storage. So I think we've got enough of those, but the rest of these we are going to want, okay, 4 stacks of. That may have been a little impatient, and then we're just, yeah, putting the steel chests in the same box, requesting steel. Logibot's pretty sad. Should eventually get better roboports because these are all lacking quality modules. That's a thing that we should. Do we need to? We don't really need to quality module the rares, but we are going to unlock epics soon, so that's going to be a thing. Okay. Were there any more rocks that we could grab? That we can get these rocks, we can turn these rocks into foundries, if they give us any iron ore. Fun times. And then also, looks like most of this section is done. We could also, oh wait, did we catch Hexacube? Hexacube has gone to Gleba. We missed Hexacube. Come back. We're going to have you drop a bunch of stuff. And we should not be requesting these roboports to upgrade trash them. We should just be requesting raw ingredients. Yeah, it looks like most of this stuff can go. Okay, new blueprints we were having a look at. Not that one. I was going to start with this one because it was kind of a prototype thing. And we're going to do it outside of bot range so that we can look at it. But we've now got a bunch of inserters and belts as kind of a proof of concepts thing, and there was also a little bit of math I wanted to talk about in this as well, but let's also, I thought you were going to be here sooner. Okay, we'll come back. There's kind of the question of, if we have some number of electromag plants building us stuff, how many recyclers do we need, and how many... Yeah, how do we handle the ratios of electromag plants before and after the recyclers, or within the recyclers? And the question comes, and also, yeah, partly from how many of these do we need to build, but then also how many belts of stuff should we expect to come out of the various recyclers, which is important for geometry and things like that. Okay, now we should be able to, yeah, grab Hexacube, send me the roboports, send me all of these inserters. We're using these medium electric poles in some other places as well. I don't think there's anything else Vulcanus wants. So yeah, just head back to Gleba. You're probably good for bullets. You are super good for bullets. Okay, great. So, the initial questions are like a bit tautological and a bit misleading of like how many electromags do we need to deal with the inputs appropriate for this number of electromags, and that number is, you know, exactly this number. But if we're thinking about trashing them and then making more, first of all we have to bear in mind that there's productivity in here. There's 50% productivity from these buildings, but then also another 50% productivity from the blue chip research productivity, which is kind of nice. And then the recyclers get rid of 3/4 of our input. So if we had this many assemblers, this many electromags, and processing out these belts, we are going to need about half of them again to deal with the outputs, except that many of these outputs we are also trashing. So we've got to ask, okay, from this many, there's the productivity to consider again, and then the recycler is going to drop 3/4 of them, so we need another 3. But also it's complicated further by there being higher qualities in here as well. We can actually set recipes. I didn't realize this. We can set recipes on qualities we have not unlocked from the research yet. We don't have the legendary research unlocked. We're still kind of working on that. In fact, the queue is a bunch of different stuff in a bunch of places based on whether or not we happen to have Gleben science, because we've got enough of every other kind of science to keep everything running. So yeah, so that's kind of how, yeah, let's get rid of all of this, but then not all of those things, because we've actually got some, not that one, that, yeah, this one is the blue chips with quality that I ended up being pretty happy about, that also has rubber ports in the middle of it, but we're not connecting to anything, so we're not going to accidentally build it. And yeah, the way this works that I like quite a lot is we fire 3 belts of green chips in here and a belt of red. Is this one the red chips? I forget, no, this one is the red chips, isn't it? Because it's the one that both of these guys have long-handed inserters to. And then one of these belts of green chips goes around both sides, and then we actually do all of the electromag stuff and some quality electromag stuff, and then feed off the quality chips, and then everything goes into an assembler in a pattern that I like quite a bit, and then all of these things get fed back around the other way. So this is a pattern that we don't actually need yet, because we're not going to start with this stuff. I just wanted to have something else to talk about while we waited for the bots to get everything done, and it looks like they have. So can we actually did that power connection? It did. We have disconnected the coal power plant. We had other boxes that we should have converted to active providers, but never mind. Okay, so we've reconnected the coal outpost so we can mine coal again. Oh yeah, let's not accidentally do this trick again. Cool. We are going to need more Roboport support through here as well, of which we just dropped, so you can get there, clean these guys out. I have a toolbar of blueprints and a pile of empty space to put them, and then we've just got to figure out where. So yeah, we've seen this module upgrader which doesn't have any recipes. I just talked about the prototype of blue chip upgrades. This is going to be our first little green chip upgrade, which is why we blasted the green chips that were in here previously, and then I've got to figure out where this goes. A lot of these have been set up with tiling blueprints. Oh, this was an old power pole pattern, wasn't it? We are powering this Roboport from elsewhere, so just get rid of all of this, fine, and then I think turn my bots on because I've got the foundries in this. So let's talk about this. Are we going to get all of them built? I don't think I have this many foundries, but I also don't really think it matters. Yeah, we've got this pattern of coils and plate going directly into these electromags. We've got a bunch of productivity in here that I don't really particularly feel hugely strongly about. We've got a lot of module 2s around the place, which we are eventually going to upgrade to module 3s as soon as these things get built. We also don't have all of the inserters we want yet either, but it is a nice tiling blueprint that we can extend later when we need to. The beacons overlap, beacons hitting a lot of things, also with modules that want to be upgraded. This is currently giving us just a little bit less than a red belt on each of these things that are blue belts, but they needed to be blue belts to jump this distance over here, and then when we upgrade all of these things to rare in the manner that we have talked about, we'll get blue belts of stuff out. So this here, when everything gets built, because we're still kind of low on foundries and power poles? Really? Oh, because we're also upgrading the power poles. Yeah, cool. This will give us 4 blue belts of stuff out, and we've got a fluid bus thing through the middle here. And actually the thing I'm wondering about now is how much iron is this? 54, because we've got, that gives us 8 foundries here, 8 more foundries down here. I'm wondering if this is going to be, actually as long as it's close enough we won't have to worry about pipes at all, will we? This is still going up here for the LDS, which is fine, and then this one is the iron? Yes. So, and then this one here is copper. So this we happen to put in exactly the right place, and then we need to somehow get yeah, let's move this to the side so that we can have the iron connection here, which was also accidentally tile. Perfect. That's the acid. We don't want that. We want this one to be a pipe so we can still connect the things. Okay, so now we should have a bunch of things making a whole pile of green chips. We have a whole lot of inserters in here because we want to try and make sure this belt is full, which we aren't doing yet, but never mind. The next thing we need to do is, yeah, red chips. And we also have a kind of funny tiling red chips plan. Which way are we going this way? Could we get the outputs going in the opposite direction? Maybe. The slightly quirky way that this tiles is that we overlap some of the beacons, and then this weird belt thing on one side and the weird belt thing on the other side hook together in a way that means that we can put in, I think these input belts, yeah, these input belts want to be half green chips, half plastic, and we want 2 belts here of half green chips and half plastic, but it still means that we have 2 belts of green chips and plastic, 2 belts of green chips and plastic, 2 belts of green chips and plastic. So some portion of this is already spoken for, but I don't think we want all of these online yet. Oh, you know what else? That's what we don't have in the middle of this build. We don't have roboports in the middle of this build, but it's fine. We're just gonna move it all again because this line here is the copper we've brought forwards, and so it would actually be super cute if you know what we should do? We should also just cancel the foundry upgrades for as long as we're doing this build. So let's not be trashing medium poles. Let's also not be trashing any of the inserters that we want to use to do these builds. We can put all those requests back on later. Do we need the bulk inserters as you're making your own bulk inserters, so that's probably fine. Yeah, let's just do we actually need to set up the... No, we don't. Why are we not making foundries then? We're not making foundries because tungsten carbide. I know why that's happening, because the science just isn't running. And because the science isn't running, these belts aren't moving. And what are we going to... Okay, so the cheap way to get science running again is to take one of these provider chests and just empty one of these things out and put all the science somewhere else. And now we're going to be moving that science again, which means that... not that belt, the tungsten belt. The tungsten belt here will be flowing, which means these guys will be grabbing the tungsten carbide, which means we will continue to be manufacturing the foundries. Here's a little rock we can use for concrete. I was thinking about hooking the blue chips off of this acid, in fact using a pile of the space, but I don't know if we do that. I think we just drop the first of the blue chips here, which the red chips aren't running yet. We still need to do some pipe spaghetti. We have made a bunch of coils, which is nice, and we've, yeah, built the roboports out, and we've now got vastly more red chips than we need for this phase of the process. But let's talk about the blue chip setup we've got for not upgrading blue chips and see if we can fit it into this space. And I think we probably can. Here is this acid pipe that will be useful later when we're doing that. But this blueprint should tile nicely, but we're going to need a little more construction to go with it. Let's start over here. Is that a good spot? And so we've got a foundry, another foundry, coils and cables into an electromag plant, into a blue chips. If we look at, yeah, the ratio of coils to red chips is a little bit off, and so we kind of don't care about how the foundry gets beaconed in modules, because we're just making more coils. But here the ratios we have managed to get a little tighter. About 14 plate, about 40 copper, into about 14 plate and about 40 copper cable, into about 23 coils, into this thing that is a little less than 23 coils, but these two beacons here need to be powered. And then the thing about this blueprint is we can tap it in here to get more blue chips out, except we kind of need to flip the electromag that's making blue chips to get the acid to connect. And the other thing is, I concluded that I didn't care about productivity modules in the electromag plant at all, because we've already got, as mentioned, so much productivity for free from the building and also from the research. And then I think the rest of this plan is we just grab this entire thing and we flip it and we put it on. Okay, so the belts are going to complain, and then we need to change all of these inserters. But now we've got the output belt on. Okay, I would actually rather those. Actually, no, this is better, isn't it? Because the red chips are coming from this side. So we can bring red chips over here. This belt will be a belt of red chips. We can get one of these output belts. I don't really care. Belt spaghetti we can think about later. And then, yeah, this thing kicking out 23. And this is also with all the Module 2 upgrades, which we're going to upgrade later as well. This is like half a blue belt of green chips that are never actually on a belt. They're just direct inserted into blue chips, and this whole thing we can grab and smack in here again like so. And now we're going to have 2.5, 5, 10, 20. I think when we upgrade these guys to Module 3s, and spoilers, we have an upgrade planner that once we've got all of this kind of built and kind of running, we're just going to slap in all these upgrades for Module 2s and Module 3s. This will, I think, more or less fill a red belt, and we will be happy with that. And then blue belts when we upgrade all of these guys in the manner we have suggested. And so what we need to connect here is, again, the copper, which is here. And this is also still not too far, and the fluid network is fine. So now we are making all the green chips we wanted. Acid is also here, as it turns out. Maybe that was part of the plan. I mean, acid was definitely part of the plan. Whether or not it just so happened that the acid being... Yeah, we'll take it. We'll say this was the plan, that was the idea. We do also need to upgrade the plastic. This is not the plastic we upgrade. We need to upgrade. We need to put this on more belts. We're also going to do a little trick here to get three red belts out of 2 blue belts worth of stuff, which is the ratio. The way we do that is we go prioritize this to the left to start with, and then we just take some red belts and we got three red belts of plastic, and that means that we can get, you know, some of this in here. Where are these other ones going to go? Yeah, because I would like to try and keep the interfaces to this as red or blue belt, because that's what this build is set up for at the moment, except we've already turned this into like 3 blue belts because these guys are already the rare assemblers or the rare chem plants, and we are going to need more plastic. We're going to need like at least another build of this size, but otherwise I think we should just, yeah, we're getting red chips out. I think if we... I would not characterize it as trying to make a mess, but I would admit that we have jammed these interfaces together in kind of whatever way fits, and it does at least kind of fit as long as we don't look too closely at it, and we are getting something that kind of looks like a bus but really isn't. The next thing we're going to drop, and I guess it's going to be over here. Do we want to extend the red chips anymore? 2, 4, 6, 8... Have we just allocated 10 red belts of plastic, which is still like small, reasonable factory sized. Yeah, and then some of these aren't even, because it was easier to, yeah, wedge stuff in the other way. Oh well, moving on. The next of the blueprints we've got isn't on the hotbar at the moment. We've done the tiling green chips, we've done the tiling red chips, we've done this blue chips thing that needed a little modification. The next one I am calling Modules 1. And this is the one that has been ratioed a little more carefully. Does it fit into... It does not fit into... Okay, whatever. We have 1,000 beacons anyway. Things that are fine. Oh, we could actually... There's not enough space to get... There's not enough space to get another... Because the next Reds build will take up all of that space to about where I'm standing. And then Modules 1, which is all of... these chips, does fit if we flip it, but then can we... No, we're not gonna push it that hard. We are just going to have, because all the inputs also turn up at the bottom, we're just going to jam it here. We are going to notice that we've got an unpowered beacon at the top, which we're just going to address from the outside. So even if we want to tile it, and to be fair, we can scale this with better beacons and better belts and better modules and better everything else, so that's fine. So this is somewhat carefully ratioed of mostly just how many different kinds of modules of each kind did I want. And going into each of these inputs, I guess we're doing that. Yeah, these ones here are now whatever we're looking at here, and some of these flipped like so. Each of these can be a full belt of red and green chips from which we build a pile of modules. These are the tier 1 modules. We're not doing these at quality, and we just fill up a box. It's fine. What are the downsides? Oh hey, I've got all of these things. Did we not? Oh, we connected the roboport to the power pole, but not the rest of the build. Okay, connect the rest of the build to the power pole, get all this stuff out of my inventory. Blue chips we're also starting to do Logibot things with, and blue chips, speed module 2s, and we're just saying we'll just build the Logibots from the network, and we'll just also drop them in the network, and then we'll do quality stuff later. So we do also need things here in the logistics network, don't we? And the thing I should do, I mean, even this spot here would be a great place to research how to replace that lava, except I think this is kind of expensive, isn't it? Yeah, none of that's super easy to do. We kind of have it around the place, but I don't want to... I want to do the modules now, is the point. Is we also have new cliffs to destroy. We are working towards... we're walking towards where we're getting the acid from. So if we are doing this long linear blue chips build, oh, it does actually fit before the acid. I don't really mind overbuilding some of this asset, because we're not going to need all of it, but we could also just put the blue chips upgrade, I don't know, somewhere. The other blueprint I'm thinking about is this blueprint we're just going to smash in here, though I think I had to think about this one somewhat more, didn't I? This is the modules upgrade build, which is going to need a whole lot of roboport support. We're using the larger power poles. We're doing everything from the bot network, and yeah, this is just a bunch of copies of the bot network module upgrade thing that we're doing, with a bunch of recipes set, with a bunch of requests set, and we're just going to build this whole thing from the bot network. Then I've got, yeah, where's the other part of this is the module recycle thing, which I think actually we would like to be able to have roboports in here, wouldn't we? These guys are not quite in, because I think we're going to need, if we're going up, and it looks like we're going up, and we're doing bot build stuff here, also being aware that the rest of the bot build stuff is a long way away, like on the other side of the base. Like, we're doing the bot module upgrade over here, and then the rest of the bot base is here and over here, and in fact the storage, which we're going to be pulling a bunch of stuff out, is over here. The beacon upgrade is also over here. Good thing we made ourselves over 2,000 logistics robots. Okay, I don't even feel bad about that anymore. The thing I was wondering is, because these are right on the edge of almost powering the roboports, can we move these by one tile? And it looks like we can, and keep all of the things we had powered, and also keep the connection through the middle, which also means we can do a bunch of Logibot stuff down here. A bit of lava, okay. We can then also demolish a bunch more rocks and cliffs, which is a thing I'm fine with. And then, yeah, trashing stuff. Trashing stuff can now, yeah, fit in here. I did want to make sure that we had enough parts and that we weren't upgrading too many of these things, and it looks like we still do have all of the things that we need to. Oh yeah, we haven't actually plugged all of these module 1s in yet, do we? But we've also got all of the module 1s that we pulled out of all the other parts. Yeah, we're just, similar to the beacons, we're just filling these chests with whatever comes out of these modules, and then this module upgrade thing, we're also just pretty much filling chests with mixed quality. We're not even going to mind. Maybe we should actually plug in the rest of these things so we have, yeah, whatever. We're not going to worry about it yet. Also, how do we connect these? And yeah, my plan for dealing with how we choose how many of each of these kinds of modules we get, yeah, we'll notice that we've got tier 3 module upgrades at quality. We've got not many tier 3 blue modules. We've got mostly quality modules and prod modules, because I think those are the ones we need a lot of. We've got a couple of efficiencies, because, like, why not? But I think the way that we handle the upgrade plan is we just request, which are we're upgrading 2s. So I think we say we connect this to the logistics network and say if we have less than, these wanted to be rare, thanks. If we had less than, say, 800, oh, you can have, okay, I wondered whether or not we could have qualities of constants at the moment. That made no sense. So, we just have this inserter run if we ever have less than 800 of the rare prod mod 2s that we want. As it is, we've currently got a ton, and then we just request prod mods, actually, not those. Prod mod 2s at not particularly inequality, and prod mod 2s at an uncommon quality. And I think this is kind of all we need to do. Like, I'm kind of resigned to the next couple of episodes being like tuning this and poking it and making it work and making sure it doesn't block, because we also haven't done the rest of the type upgrades for this thing yet. But I think this might be all we need to do. Just request all the modules of lower quality that we want, and then if we don't have all that we want, just start trashing them. Just put these things in boxes. And then the other question is, how many of these do we want? Because this is still what I'm thinking of as the primary loop. Like, we've kind of ratioed all the module 2 upgrades here to the number of module 2s we've got in here, each of which are going pretty fast because we got some module upgrades with that. That's probably too many. That was in fact not too many. Am I concerned about putting too many blue chips in storage? I don't think I am. This is Vulcanus. What even are the problems associated with manufacturing too many blue chips? I think we do this somewhat slowly to start with. Okay, so you can get in there, you can get in here, and by somewhat slowly I mean we just put a splitter here to take only half of them. And then, yeah, I was going to try and get that out of the way of this blue chips thing, wasn't I? Never mind. One in there, one in there. Yeah, you're putting half of this in the wrong place. Where are you going? Never mind, moving on. We've now got a giant bot build that's doing a thing. I did find, when I was kicking things around, that with the various modules in play here and the speeds at which recyclers trash, we pretty much need one recycler per electromag of this electromag 4.2 speed. But the thing is, we've got, what, 12 here? So let's try and wander out of bot range with the limited UPS we have, because we've turned everything on again, and do the same thing of, if we start off with 12 of these things, the innate productivity is giving us another 50%, yeah, and then the recyclers are trashing roughly roughly 3/4 of these things. Feels like rambling. I think we've done this enough, because there were a couple of other things I wanted to do today. One was defend Gleba. We're not going to do that. Yeah, this thing here is the upgrade planner that now we are more or less built, and we are actually not completely built because we're not doing all the upgrades, but we want to swing this upgrade planner over everything. A lot of these are going to, these ones are all speed and efficiency modules, because these aren't the quality stuff. And then also this whole red chip section, let's just start with the bit that's actually running stuff. We want all of these modules to also get all of their speed and efficiency modules upgraded. And then the blue chips that are also not running, is this because of acid? Why aren't we running, guys? Iron. Full on blue chips, low on acid. That is probably not a thing that should have been surprising. We're going to do this anyway. We're going to try and make more blue chips. Does that mean we need to get more acid? Actually, there's another. The acid is also just right here. And we also have just blasted this acid, because we are now making so many more. Oh yeah, because we're hitting the plastic hard again. We're hitting the plastic hard. We are doing, because this takes acid. It does. All these things are pretty heavily beaconed now. We didn't start the silos that we were going to, so I think we also might need an acid train. We're not going to deal with that at the moment either. We are going to get... Where are we going to do this? I want more silos. So I think we're going to throw this here, and we're just going to have... How many more silos? Should we do 5 more silos? 5 seems like a good number. We can do this thing where we say silo recipe, normal quality, yes. And then if we assign this to a chest, we get exactly the right amount of stuff to build one silo. So I think we assign that to all 5 chests, and then don't worry about it. We'll come back later to actually connect all these parts together. Yeah, we'll come back, we'll turn these into non-request chests, and we'll build the 5 silos and put these 5 silos, I don't know, somewhere else, wherever. Yeah, we're sending science to places, that's good. Did we... Yeah, we've got enough... Oh, no, wait, this is not going to work, because you're not in the network. Now you're in the network, and we can get those as well. Yeah, if all the Logibots liked that. Thumbs up from the Logibots. Okay. There's not much less interesting in Factorio than watching someone tile blueprints, but watching someone configure circuit conditions on a bot wall is one of those things. But we have some upgrades now. There's more circuit conditions in here than just the recyclers now, although that's how I want to do it. All of these things are also not trashing unless we need the modules, which we currently don't, because we've got that huge stash sitting around. We've also got all of these guys running. These blue chips are now, or at least if they have the acid, would be kicking out 3.5 each, which adds up to, what, 714, so we are nearly filling a red belt, which is nice. And then, yeah, we've moduled some of these guys, we moduled some of these guys harder as well, and I just wanted to check if... So we are now pumping at the speed of the pump. Can we... I don't actually know if Vulcanus has... where's a toolbar with these things? Do we have pipes? And does this just fix a thing? Because there's another pump over here as well, which we can take the circuit condition off, please. And then just throw in another pump if we have them. And... yeah, Vulcanus isn't complaining about that. It's complaining about still building foundries, still building roboports, all the modules that we're not making yet. Oh well. Looks like we are just going to get more acid in there. Maybe that does a thing, maybe not. You know what's more interesting than that is spaceships. So we have this new little plan to send up to several spaceships. Grondolf needed this, and Vendius also needed this. These are the two that are getting... I wonder which top bar I had that on. Whatever. This little upgrade plan here, which is largely, is it 7? No, 6, is largely the same as a plan we already had. It's kind of a little update package for our fast pickets. So the idea with this is we built this a while ago. We are using all the red thrusters and stuff, which are cool, but we have uncommon assembly machines, and we have regular chemical plants, and we also have a schedule that waits in a bunch of places for us to get the fuel and bullets we need to move on, whereas now we could upgrade all of these things to not have to wait so long and to move around faster. And we've also got 4 regular crushers, which we could actually swap out to 1 rare crusher now that we've figured out the combinator recipe switching thing. Actually, let's motivate this a bit first. This is the blue science problem again. We have finished up epic processing, we are into legendary quality research, and we have this kind of blue science problem. Red and green we can probably extend on Novice pretty easily, but if we're going to be bringing a whole bunch of stuff in from Vulcanus, then we might like to upgrade these ships, and the way we're going to do that is, yeah, this whole interface here disappears because we do that differently. We have a different plan for these combinators. That's hilarious. I was not expecting to be able to... Yeah, you know what? Just drop these down to Novice. Cool. And then we also don't have all the... We might not need... Is Grund? Oh yeah, because Grundolf is the one that goes to Vulcanus, so we might not actually need those things. So this line here is also different, and then the first two things we can slap in. I do already have a plan for this. This is in the blueprint. We just need to kind of get these things here so that we can, yeah, get the extra storage space, which is the other way we are going to improve the throughput of these craft. These guys are going to all go to rare and get better modules and recipes. I think this line through here is different. There's a circuit condition that goes here, and then I think we have all the parts we need. We're complaining because some of the belts are upgraded to blue, and some of the some of these inserters upgraded to rare quality things, and I think we've got, yeah, this took a whole lot of stuff out of the inventory. The one I was noticing is that we need one more bulk inserter, which is a bit of a shame, and a couple more accumulators. But otherwise, we have a ship that is just straight up upgraded. Oh, and we need a couple more of these efficiency modules as well. So there's a bit more stuff to send up there, but that is going to be, yeah, largely the same kind of ship. We now have this recipe switching guy instead, which, is this the first one? Yeah. First checks for calcite. If we need calcite, we make that. Then if we've got enough calcite, we check for iron ore. If we've got enough of both of those, we check for carbon. And lastly, we check for ice cubes. And this thing, with it being a rare... yeah, a rare crusher with 2 efficiency modules, is also how we managed to get away with the reduced electrical load, and then also giving these things uncommon efficiency module so that we are at -78 instead of whatever it previously was. And then, you know, rare modules, because getting more stuff out is great. Okay, so we've got to send Grondolf that extra stuff, and then Vendius is also going to need the same kind of issue. Get you all of this stuff out of here, because we are going to need the slots to put these things in, so that you should be able to get... press the right buttons. Queue a thing. Okay, so now with that storage, we can go and do the rest of the upgrades, and then we can send them the parts. And everything else there is going to be more or less an in-place upgrade. Sure. Super Force build. I think, did that get everything done? It 4 efficiency modules. I did forget those, yes. High value rockets. The other change this allows is that we can reduce these timers because we don't have to wait for as long. I think we can probably combine the science taxi and the stuff taxi and all those things together now. Why were you not... You were driving around without your quests on? Maybe? That would be weird, whatever. Yeah, go and do a thing. You've got all your stuff. And the other thing we're going to... So we've got more storage. We are not waiting as long in as many places because we're manufacturing everything we need faster. Actually, the thing we should do is check that if these are running us a bullet or fuel deficit, then we could run out the sort of the cache we've had from this operational thing being operational for a while. Or we also should have dropped all this stuff down. We'll remember that later. So we need to check in on these later and see that they are not running themselves out of bullets. Vendius, you are also fully ready. You got your modules, yeah, you've got all your stuff. Drop everything you don't want back to Novice. Thanks, we'll figure out something to do with it later. Where do you have spoilage? I guess, yeah, one of these things probably ran into... This is the... We gave... That's why, because when yeah, this blueprint includes the hub, and so it got this schedule, and so Grondolf actually doesn't want to go here at all. Grondolf wants to go to Vulcanus for I'm just going to use a time pass thing again, why not? Yeah, also 160. And then I think you will also the stuff taxi. We're going to rearrange... Oh no, wait, there was a... I don't remember which one of these it was. Low processing from... Maybe. We'll figure out that at some point. Because I think we want to combine those schedules and not really worry about it. Yeah, just go here, you'll be fine. You'll probably be fine. Clip these out. I think we can have also just more ships. We've got Cobalt Core, I think, is going to get the same pattern as Becky. Cursor, I think we can send some stuff up to for this exact plan. Muse Flare and Wobble are both new, and I think we can probably have... I mean, we've got more ships, but I think we want maybe 3 or 4 on each of these loops. Going to Gleba first, and I would also like Fulgora to step back on... Yeah, because Fulgora is currently still producing modules. Hey, we've got some epic scrap. I wonder if we're doing anything with that in particular. Probably never mind. Yeah, I would like Fulgora to step back on the modules so it can think about producing electromags, because we're going to need to upgrade a lot of those. And we've been doing a lot of electromag work. We're probably still doing electromag work. What are you waiting on? Holmium? Really? Why are you waiting on Holmium? Oh, because these... Yeah, okay, fine. I think we're also going to just do this... Put these in the network. We'll worry about that later. I think that means we have everything with this delivery of a couple more fast inserters and also some repair packs, because, you know, good to have repair packs. Which means I think we can bash this blueprint in, check that it's on pause thrust, it's got this schedule, yeah, whatever. I think we, yeah, auto request, and then we should just be able to wait for the base to send up a whole lot of platform. And then the same thing on the other platform. 5631, is that the right number? I don't know, whatever. It's not complaining about having other stuff, so I think we just wait for these to build. Yeah, it could take a little while. Yeah, I think we're generally happy with that. We're going to have some more space platforms. We're going to be able to move some things around. We're going to have better schedules. We're going to just be able to massively increase the throughput. How is Grondolf doing? Grondolf is having a good time. Still waiting at Vulcanus. You're not paused or anything? No, you're just... Okay. Yeah, I think these are fine. Oh, wait. We probably don't need to continue to be shipping the solar panels around the place. That was a one-off thing while we were building other ships, although I guess we want to build Cobalt Core as well. Yeah, more ships. I'm pretty happy with this design. I think I like the version before this more. Like, it was a little more symmetrical, and these things are a little off to the side, but I guess I can rationalize that with the tanks being on the other side. Yeah, overall, pretty successful Interplanet system design. I think this is where we leave the episode for today. We're building some ships. These guys are going to have to hang around Novus for a bit, just picking up any random bits of asteroids. Wait, what do you... I don't even remember what we make first. Do we make the calcite first? Whatever. We're just going to sit here. These guys are going to not have enough solar panels by 1 because I miscounted that. Am I fine with that? I really would like them to have the right amount of stuff. Maybe we send up 1 more solar panel. Yeah, we got some new ships. We got some ships doing things. We've got Hexagube and Becky not too closely aligned on their systems. Let's go and check whether Vulcanus are these guys. One of these is running at... They are now both running at less than their maximum. Does that mean that we've just got a lot of blue chips? Okay, so we've solved the problem of blue chips by everything backing up, which I think I'm okay with. A lot of this is still running. Yeah, maybe we circuit condition these differently just to get a bunch of stuff happening, but I kind of don't care at this point. We still need to get, we need to get more plastic into these as well. We need to do the blue chips upgrade things. I think next time we're going to go into Fengleber. Otherwise, we are pretty happy to be launching spaceships and having spaceships and getting really close to finishing off legendary quality research. So that's pretty exciting as well.